This is Josh Thompson for Aromatic Fragrances International, and we wanted to tell you guys where the company started and where we are today. Basically, my background is I got into the industry through a staffing agency. I started in the back as a forklift driver, kind of learned a little bit from the labs, and worked my way throughout the company. So the first company went from $1 million to $12 million, and I learned a lot from those people. I mean, they were really good. It was a tight-knit family, so it was good coming in from production, basically sweeping the floors, and learning the entire industry all the way up. The first company I worked for, we did flavors, and we decided that we really didn't like the flavor side of the business, and moving forward, we really didn't want to focus in on that part of the market. You really have to be specialized in that, and for us, I like the fragrance side a lot more. So my experience in the industry so far was I really liked the industry. I really like making fragrances. I didn't like the flavor side, and I wanted to keep staying with the business. So I'd gone through 2 buyouts in a very short window, and I knew long term if I wanted to stay in the industry that I was going to have to start my own. I mean, that's really where it ended up. So me and another guy, Sean Reardon, had a conversation, and we said, hey, what are you going to do once the doors close at Monarch? And I said, well, I'm going to start a fragrance company. And he said, well, do you need a partner? And I said, yeah, it'd be great. And we decided we're going to start Aromatic Fragrances International. We came out with a plan, we came out with a strategy, and then we launched the company. So, company did fairly well. We had to move it, so we had to move to a new location. We had 6 employees at that time, so we were very small. We just took a startup, and things just weren't going as we wanted. And at that point, I was sitting in my office and literally smelling a bottle of fragrance, and I was looking at our markup, and it was standard for the industry, and the product wasn't that good. And I was like, okay, so I'm in the industry, I want to be in the industry long term, and I have a subpar product that's at the typical price that everybody else is selling it, and I'm not making any traction. I called Sean in the office, the other partner, and I said, this ain't working. We just got to change our model. So literally, after the company was in business less than 6 months, I came to the conclusion that we're going to have the best product on the market. I'm going to change our price schematic, and honestly, at that point, the change happened within the company. Now, the other thing is, I would go to these trade shows and I would meet these big accounts. And they would say, oh, we go through 20 or 30 drums of product, and if you can give me a nickel off the price, you got the business. And I realized at that point, all I was going to do was spend the rest of my life shifting business from one account to another account to another account, and we would just be chasing our tails repeatedly. But there was this small group of customers that no one was going to their booth, no one cared about. It was their first time at the show, and they were selling some product, and those were the people I liked. I'd walk over, I'd talk with them about their container, they'd tell me all their fears and issues and problems, and I would go through my experience and tell them what worked for other customers and what recommendations I would give them, and they would sincerely appreciate it. And then they would email me and we'd have conversations, and all of a sudden their 10-pound order became 25 pounds and their 25 pounds became 100 pounds. And I enjoyed that more than going into the big accounts, whining and dining them to get a big piece of business that I only had for a very short window of time. So at that point, we really started readjusting the company for the small accounts. And that's really worked for us. I feel that moving forward, that's really our growth. We should be a benefit to our customers. We should be able to help you guys out with how to make the product. You can ask us for help on products. We're there for you. I mean, we're really that family-based company that wants to have you part of the family. I mean, that's really how we grow. I think when you start a company, a partnership's a good thing. And I think that if you were in the process of starting a company and you were thinking, no, I want to do it by myself, I would probably say do it with a partner. Sean is the other business partner. He comes more from the IT side. So me knowing the industry as far as your processes and products, and him as far as the IT and the online and the marketing side, that's really how the combination has worked so well for us. The one thing that you have to realize, you have to pick the right partner, right? It's like dating. You want to make sure that you're on the same page with the other person. It's literally like a marriage. Before we started the company, it wasn't like, ooh, hey, you need a partner, I'm in. I definitely knew him for years and knew what type of work ethic he had, and we've seen that moving forward within the company. I tell you what, when I was asked who are the people that I hire, I was at a trade show and the guy said, I want all my employees to have a PhD. And I figured, okay, so you're talking about you want all your people to have degrees. He said, no, I want them poor, hungry, driven. And I said, well, I don't want people that are broke, that are like barely surviving. He goes, no, you're missing it. He goes, I want people that want to achieve, that have their mind on a goal and want to become so much better in life. So when I look at employees, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that actually enjoy their job, want to go to the next level. He's not happy collecting a check and then going home. I actually want someone who has the buy-in of the company that's going to get us to the next level. And that's the biggest thing I'm looking for. Because if that employee is in the best spot that they can be, they're going to give me the best work that they can. If they're at the bottom and everything's falling apart, that's why he's going to fall apart at work. So if I can do little things to help out an employee, which comes through communication, I want to know about that. So I want that communication open. But now that year after year, we've cycled through several people and we really have a good bunch, it has made our jobs a lot easier. We used to have one perfumer that was handling all the projects and all the evaluations. Now we have a team of 4 people. So we used to have one person answering the phone. Now we have 4. Me and Sean used to do the accounting, so it was almost the last thing that we got to. And now we have a girl that full-time handles that. So you learn what's important and what's not. But at the end of the day, your company needs to have people it can rely on because the information's got to be correct. So us compared to our competition, they're really more concerned about selling you just the fragrance, where we're really the whole package. We'd like to help your business, help you grow, give you a mindset, the whole 9. So I would say for us, we're not looking short term. I'm not trying to get one sale. I'm not trying to get you to buy so my sales numbers look good for this quarter. I'm looking at a 10 to 20 year plan on what your company can do. So if you come to me and you say, this is where I'm looking at, I usually ask where you came from. Where did you start? Are you family owned? Are you long term? Do you have business partners? And people are like, why are you asking us all this information? If I know where you're coming from, I know how to actually help your account and get it to the next level. So AFI is just one of those companies. It's a partnership, and that's just how we look at doing business. One day you start and you're going to contact us and say, this is day 1. I just got my business license and we're going to help you out and we're going to send some samples to you. And then in a couple of months or maybe even a year, you're going to be at a trade show and I'll see you at the trade show. I'll be there. We're going to look over your items. We're going to look over your products. We'll give you recommendations. And then the next step is you're going to get large orders. And we're there to help you on that side too. We give you recommendations for manufacturing, on what type of equipment you need. We're just really that in-house fragrance company that's trying to help you throughout the entire process. We're very personable. We have good customer service, good products. And again, we're looking long term. We're not going to be here for 2 or 3 years and cancel the shop. We're looking at 20 to 25 years plus. So, AFI. And what are you doing? Yeah. All I see is you jumped up. I tried to ignore it as long as I could, but it looked like you were hemorrhaging. I got you. All right. I know, but that's really like what goes through my mind, right? So you're just like, oh yeah, great. And good. Yeah. Good. All right. You need the personal.
I'm trying to get some personal out of you. Like I want you to tell me.
I'll give that up.